What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast, the Battleground podcast. It is Battle alongside with me, my tag team partner, Eli, and we are coming up on AEW Blood and Guts. And man, it's going to be an exciting night for sure, especially a monumental, historic night, because for the first time ever, we are getting a female Blood and Guts. And today on the show, our guest, you know her, you love her, and if you don't, give it a few minutes and you will. She sings, she wrestles. Let's see, she's an actress, a ventriloquist. Am I missing anything else, Harley Cameron?
Fitness model, influencer, what else?
Harley Cameron is our guest today. Harley, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hello, I'm great. Thank you for the lovely rap, gosh.
I mean, we could probably list more accolades, but that would take up most of the show, and we're here to talk about everything AEW and everything Harley Cameron. So I want to go right into this real quick, because recently you and Willow pulled off a major upset by defeating the tournament favorites Mercedes Moné and Athena to advance. How did the lead up to that match feel for you emotionally? And also, you getting the win for your team, what was going through your mind?
I look back at both of our faces when that moment happened, and I think that it speaks for itself. Like, so, shocked, to be honest, and ecstatic.
Yeah.
It was a range of both emotions, just like, it was a wonderful feeling. It was a surprise. They definitely gave us an amazing fight and really pushed us to the limit. So obviously we're very happy with the outcome, and
Right.
I think we shocked the world and ourselves, and now we're fired up.
Yeah. Well, I think it was shocking just because of all the belts involved in the match, so
Yeah.
it seemed like an uphill battle for you guys. But yeah, it was. We popped hard over here when you got that pin, so it was awesome.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I will say it's, we're up against two of the greatest wrestlers, I think, so not even just in the women's division, but in the world in general. I think that they're both incredible athletes, and it's definitely an exciting and unexpected outcome for everyone, I think.
Right. Well, speaking of Harley Cameron, your popularity has been very just an organic growth. Do you, in your mind, do you have a, maybe a defining moment where you can kind of look back and say, oh, okay, the crowd's really behind me now? Was there anything that stands out like, oh, I'm over now?
Oh gosh, it's funny. It's hard to hear the word over and put it in context of
Right.
of myself. Be like, I'm over.
Yeah.
I will say, there was definitely momentum behind when I would start to have my matches, and I would hear people, supporting me and chanting me, and yelling "Feel the wrath." And I thought, oh, they're with me.
Mhm.
It was definitely a build that started to become more consistent. And I will say also the opportunity that I had to, face Mercedes at Grand Slam Australia at the start of this year definitely felt like a very defining moment for me and in my journey. And, I definitely felt the support louder and bigger than ever in my home country. And
Mhm.
it's from that moment, I definitely felt like, oh, wow, like it's a special feeling to know, like, oh, they're with me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about that AEW Grand Slam down there in Australia. I mean, you mentioned the crowd was electric. I mean, we felt it through the TV watching it. I mean, you had your home country behind you. Unfortunately, it didn't end the way that us fans were hoping, and obviously you were hoping for. But talk us through that moment. Like, what was it like stepping into that ring in front of that crowd, feeling the energy? Walk us through everything, because again, we felt it to the TV. Obviously, you probably felt a different feeling in front of your home crowd.
It was so amazing and surreal. And I am not exaggerating when I tell you the energy in that audience from the very start to the very finish was, it didn't settle down. It was consistent. The Aussies definitely, They know how to make some noise. It's unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. And even before I walked out, I still like remember vividly, like they were chanting my name, but like from they played something on screen of me from earlier in the day arriving, and in that moment and hearing that support before I'd even walked out, that was a moment I thought, oh wow, this is going to be very special, and it really was. And like I said, the energy of that entire night was just insane. Like it's like it built and built and built, and it was a very it was a long show that night.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like throughout in sporting events in general, sometimes the crowd can waver, but it was so cool just that whole night having that level of like support and volume, and it was really really awesome. It was a hard one to top, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that event was just incredible from top to bottom. Tony winning the world title there was
Yes.
just another big event. Going back to the women's blood and guts match, the sickos over here, we've been clamoring for it since AEW started, so we're very excited about it. What do you want that match to say about the women's division for AEW, and what would make you the most proud of, like being able to watch it back a year from now? What do you think would make it something you're most proud of?
I think that for all of us, there is a sense of pride that it's happening to
Mhm.
even begin with. So I can say wholeheartedly that I know that before it's even begun, that we all feel a huge sense of pride, because it definitely feels like, it feels like a reward for the work that you've been putting in, that we've been putting in, especially like the build up this year. I feel like we've seen a lot of matches that, have been more hardcore and then more hard hitting, and there's been a lot of small tastes of elements of obviously what this embodies. So I think that I know everyone is already feeling very happy and successful for the fact that we've arrived there. And obviously us girls would like to take it home and put on a great show, but
Mhm.
I'm really hoping that my team takes it out in general. That'll be a nice thing to look back on and be like, yeah, we did it. But I just know for a fact that everyone, all the women in the locker room, really feel excited and proud already, because we're like, hell yeah, we're doing this. We can hang with the guys. Like it's a very cool feeling, and I think we just feel really excited that Tony Khan's giving us the opportunity, and that this is like the first of hopefully many to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And me and Eli, we've had this conversation before. We've grown up wrestling fans, and we remember seeing when we were watching wrestling as kids. When women's wrestling was on there, it was 3 minutes. It was bra and panties matches. It was this. But
Yeah.
now, as times have changed, women are main eventing big pay-per-views. Women are getting just the same matches as the guys are, and let's talk about the women's landscape at AEW. I mean, you've seen it from day one to now. It's evolving rapidly. From
Mhm.
your vantage point, where do you see that evolution going in the next year or two? And how do you see yourself fitting into it?
I think that the evolution of women's wrestling in general has gone through so many transitions. I think, as you said, it way back when began as something that was, I feel like, definitely more, sexualized and less hard hitting in that respect. But I think that the cool thing is we've gone through this transition of like extreme athleticism. And then I feel like it's gone through this transition where we've now experienced different levels of it.
Mhm.
It's ticked many different boxes. And I think that now we're at a position where it's like you can have the best of all worlds. I feel like that there is a mixed bunch of athletes and competitors that bring different things to the table. I think that it went from a stage of, over sexualizing it to then that was frowned upon. And then it was all about like, hard hitting. And then it was like, hey, you can be hard hitting and sexy. And, or if you
Mhm.
don't want to do that, you don't have to. And the cool thing is so many people bring different like things to the table. So I think it's great because we're in this world now where you don't have to tick this box and go, okay, well, you don't wear bra and panties, so we're not going to watch it. Or you don't, you're not the strongest, so we're not going to be into it. Like it's like this beautiful mixture of all these different personalities and skills collectively living at once, and all can exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Another thing exciting we found out about on the 11/13 edition of Ring of Honor, you will have a world title match against
Yes.
Athena.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
yes.
Big month in the world of Harley over here. Athena is the longest reigning champion in Ring of Honor history, male or female. What would a title victory over her mean for you at this point in your career? I mean, toppling the longest reigning champion in Ring of Honor history.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for me, and she is, an insane athlete. She is one of the most impressive wrestlers that I've ever been in the ring with. Um, Obviously, a win like that for me would be exponential, and I think my goal is obviously just every time that I get in there to just remember that I'm being given these opportunities for a reason, and I think I proved to everyone this last week that anything is possible. So I'm going in hungry. I'm going in ready. And again, she's one of the greatest to do it, but I have a taste for it now.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what's great is, earlier in the show, we talked about all the accolades that you've done, and you've talked in past interviews about how you've branched out, pursuing singing, modeling, then wrestling and acting and everything else in between. Can you take us back to that moment that you looked in the mirror and said, okay, I'm a wrestler. This is me now. What was that turning point?
I think it was the first time I ever saw a independent show in person, which wasn't until I was living in America. I didn't grow up in an environment that had a lot of wrestling around it. So also growing up in Australia where I was, it didn't ever become a thought in my mind that I could pursue it professionally. And then it was when I was in Orlando and I saw my first indie show. And in that moment, I just got this hunger and passion, just like watching it up close for the first time and feeling the energy. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. It's like this light bulb went on, and I still remember my first match that I had, which was against Scarlett Bordeaux for Wrestle Pro, and I remember my coach texted me afterwards, and he was like, "Breeze," and he said how'd it go, and I still distinctively remember being like, that was the best feeling I've ever had in my entire life. And
wow.
I've performed in some amazing places in my life and had a lot of wonderful opportunities in my career as a musician and in those other fields. So for me to actually reflect after that first match that I got to have and go, wow, nothing in the world can compare to this. I just knew then and there that I was like, this surpasses everything that I've ever wanted. This is what I want.
Right. Well, that's saying something. I mean, considering how talented you are and what other stages you've been on. So yeah, that's awesome. So one thing, one fun thing is, as far as pitches and stuff go, like, was there an idea that you had that made it to air and you're just like, yes, I cannot believe that we brainstormed and we got it. Like, was anything that just, that you really wanted and you got it on TV?
Oh gosh, I'll be honest, like I've got to do so many cool things that I'm very thankful that Tony Khan definitely allows me to showcase things that I believe that I can do well. It was obviously his idea to do halftime Harley, and I thought in that moment that it was cool in a way because I was obviously with my guitar and having the opportunity to sing and perform, and I had a feeling of like, how cool is this that I get to do the things that I love in this world where a lot of people sometimes say to me, oh, why are you wrestling? You could be doing this, you could be doing this, you could be doing this. And I say, don't you see that I have the coolest job in the world? I get to wrestle, and my boss is allowing me to take all the other elements that I have in life that I like to do, and I'm allowed to do them here. I get to do them here. So I think it's really cool whenever I'm allowed to do things that are outside the box of what you might see on a regular basis. Like, it's been really cool to be able to do ventriloquism. It's been cool to be able to sing live. Like, it's cool, like, being able to do all the things I love in one place. And that's why I love work so much. I love wrestling. I love AEW. It's like all my worlds of passion combined into one. So like anytime I get to be creative like that, I'm like, this is cool.
Right.
Right, absolutely. Of course, Blood and Guts, you could watch it Wednesday night, man. It's going to be a fun time for sure. And of course, we're going to see it, the men's match, and for the first time ever, a women's Blood and Guts match. Now, I do want to kind of go to the flip side of what Eli just brought up. You said that you've pitched some things and they've been able to make it on TV. Has there been something that you've pitched that they were like, let's save that for a different day. Let's put it on the shelf?
I mean, definitely all the time. Like, I definitely like. Well, I think I personally just like laugh at my own shit all the time. I come up with things that I think is funny, and then other people are like, that's not good.
Right.
So what is one of those that kind of stands out to you in the moment right now that you're like, this would have been great, but let's hold off on it?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think if there's like a particular. Oh, I can say little things like, like for example, if I've teamed with someone and I've been like, what if I ride your back out into the ring? And like, like I'm like, get on, and then like some people are like, oh, I don't know about, like little things like that. Or
Right.
in backstage segments, I'm like, what if I say this? And they're like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing is like we sit there and we'll watch it on TV and it's like, I don't see how certain people can keep a straight face in a real promo if Harley's around. Like, are you like trying to break them if they're doing a serious promo? Is that like a goal for you?
I mean, it's a nice feeling for sure. Actually, you did remind me of like something particular that did happen a long time ago when I was in the QTV faction, and the guys had a match against Orange Cassidy, and they were like talking about like things, and in my head I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll bring out an orange to the ring, and I'll look at it, I'll start eating it, and everyone was kind of like, oh, this is terrible.
I think that could have worked. I mean,
I'm getting the metaphor here. I'm looking at
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Harley Cameron is our guest on the show today. Before we let you go, anything you want to say to the people watching or listening to this right now?
I just want to say thank you guys for having me. It's been a joy. And make sure you're watching Blood and Guts. I expect it to be bloody and gutty.